Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to Best Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we got a map which was a little bit of a treat, a bit of a luxury for me this week. You see, when I put together the week's maps, I obviously tried to pick out some of the best ones and try and put together a bit of a mix. This one stood out as being just a little bit different from everything else. But of course, it was reliant on there not being loads and loads of top new maps from all of the top creators. Lucky for us, there wasn't. This was just one of those maps that I was able to indulge in, have a little bit of a little glance at and see whether or not it was half as good as I hoped it would be. And I really do hope this will be a good one. But before we do any hoping, we'll do some clicking on that like button if you don't mind, please. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is North African Shore by Stannington. Now, I thought for a moment this might be my first map. It's not. They have made quite a few maps in the past, just I think the first time on the show. There's your start square and lots of buildable space in there, intersected of course by that highway. And then you have terrain heights. It's a pretty flat map, pretty flat. There's some hills on the inland bit, and then resources are strong, fertile, splattered around the map, so you can do some farming if you like. If you've got fishing, so if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, then you've got fishing. There you go. Off to the workshop. What do we need? It is a mass transit map. You will need mass transit for this one. On top of that, we'll be using the Canary Island date palm. And then we've got the Arrowhead Valley official map theme. Why is my voice croaky? And this is the asthma. And then you've got the realistic 1.2 LUT. Maybe I'm coming down with something. Oh, I do hope not. Yeah, let's see if we can muddle through today's show. Right, so here we are down at ground level, North African Shore. So it's going to be dry and dusty looking, and I would say this was dry and dusty looking. So I think we can award points for that already. It looks a little bland at first glance, and it'll also look bland at second glance as well. It's something just a little bit too flat about the map. Now, I know there are flat areas of the world, and they're probably flat parts of North Africa. But it just feels that the texturing, well, we've got texturing in the ground painted in with the resources and the Arrowhead Valley theme, which is a beautiful theme. So, yeah, we've got the variations in the ground. It's just perfectly flat in doing so. Now, we've got a big old roundabout here, and there's a lot of lanes on this roundabout. We haven't shied away on this map from using as many lanes as feels necessary. Now, I feel 5 lanes is probably too many, but again, what do I know? I've never been to North Africa. They probably all have 22 lanes on their roundabouts over there, although I very much doubt it. Probably wrong. I sincerely hope that I'm wrong. Heading up towards the railway, and we've got a bridge here, which normally we have a look at these bridges as we drive over them, but we'll have a look at the bridge as we go along the railway instead, checking out for things like pillars in the line and all that sort of stuff. Coming down off of the bridge, we have a roundabout. I'm not sure why we need a roundabout here. I mean, sure, you're going to be doing some building down here, but do we really need a roundabout pre-built? I don't know. It's arguable. It probably adds a little bit of interest to the map where there probably wasn't. And then we'll head down now to it is the main intersection. Basically, we've got a highway running across the map and a highway running down from the highway that runs across the map, which is this one. And we've got another big old roundabout there. The intersection is absolutely fine. No real issues with this at all. It's an interesting shape. We've got, again, good use of extra lanes. 3 lanes going up to 4 lanes, and got the crossover there, which is pretty neat. And then 5 lanes. 5 lanes, so we can have 3 lanes split off, and then 3 lanes. 6 lanes. 6 lanes on the left. I feel like the Count from Sesame Street at the moment. 7 lanes. No. I think it's still only 6 lanes there. lots and lots of lanes today. So anyway, yes, North African shore. When we get maps from other places on the world, like I say North Africa or Central Asia, East Asia, I like to try and do them because there are obviously a huge amount of European and North American style maps. We're going to take a right here, but the start square, if you're interested, is just down there. That next roundabout there. Here's your start square area right there. We will make our way round to that at some point. We'll get to that area in case you're wanting to know what it's like down there. It's pretty much like what it is like here as well, but we'll follow this route because this is the route that is the fun route. I feel it's the fun route because it goes onto the islands. Going onto the islands is what makes this route fun. I hope you are having as much fun as my voice is having, croaking away. Goodness me, is up with this today. I mean, I regulars will know I am asthmatic, but this isn't an asthma croak. This is the voices going croak, and I'm a little bit worried that I will be mute for the next few shows. Let's just hope that's not the case. A little bridge over here. That's very nicely, neatly done. A little bit wobbly, but it's not bad. And this is very much the case with today's map. It's in terms of the detailing and the quality. It's not bad. It's not bad. It'll do absolutely fine for most people. In fact, if you're a newish or just a casual player rather than a serious detailer or a heavy builder, then this is the sort of map which will do you absolutely fine. And so I'm trying not to sound too good compared to some of the maps which are truly glorious. Oh, that's where the highway goes off the edge of the map over there. We'll just head inland to the rail now. Yeah, so compared to some maps which are truly glorious and massively overworked, this is a little bit meh. But is it bad? Of course it's not. It's nowhere near a bad map. What we got here is we've got this bridge. I'm thinking that we're missing a pillar here. And looking at the arc on the bridge, I reckon it's underneath the rail line. Let's have a quick look with the move it tool to find the nodes. Yes, there we go. It's under the rail. So I reckon if we move that node just a smidge, I've managed to pull the segment as well. But you can see the pillar has now appeared. In fact, it stayed back. It stayed there as we've come out of moving everything back. But yes, that's where that pillar is. And I feel that bridge needs a pillar. Possibly needs a couple, one on either side, just for balance. But as bridges go, it's a good height. It's got a nice arc on it. And so there's not really too much to really moan about there. Right, so the rail. We do have this rail line that runs all the way across the map. And it's pretty smooth. But then the map is pretty flat. So we're going to expect it to be smooth and flat. One would have thought so anyway. It does run through the start square kind of zone. So we'll have trains running pretty early on in the map build. And yes, we've got the road on the left hand side. So the road's going to go off and do its own thing for a moment. Yes, so anyway, how are things with you? I hope your voice isn't going as well. I have managed to stay COVID free so far. Currently on lockdown in the United Kingdom. And I've been outside once in the last 10 days. And that was to just nip round to the corner shop yesterday to get some bread. That's that bridge that we didn't take a look at. Oh, a train. I subscribed to some trains the other day, so we might see some new trains in my game. I couldn't tell you exactly which one it is, but there might be some new trains rather than just the vanilla ones. Yes, so yes, I popped out yesterday for some bread and had myself a lovely Philadelphia cheese sandwich. Lovely. It was. I've been just eating pasta, loads and loads of pasta. I've been trying to be good, you see, trying not to interact with society, because I know society hates me. Okay, right, now we've got what looks like a level crossing over here. So that's a little bit of a variation as well. Except for, if you have a look here, we have no crossing gates. So this isn't actually a level crossing. This is a crossing that was made with anarchy switched on. And so the trains and the traffic are going to interact with each other. They won't crash because it doesn't allow for crashing in the game between trains and cars. But there was a train coming, that blue one. So if we just speed things along a bit, hopefully this train will... We'll just see if we can get a bit of a crash between the car and the train. Just out of curiosities. So yeah, with level crossing, the traffic would now stop and the train would go... Oh, this never any traffic when you need it. Ooh, this might be close. This might be close. Ooh, you got lucky that time. Anyway, so yes, level crossings just to stop the rail. I know there are places where there aren't going to be no crossing gates, and North Africa not been, but I would assume that is a particularly likely place for it there to be crossings with no gates. You have to use your eyes, you know, maybe a warning sign, and that's it. Anyway, we'll come back after the intermission. I'll try and clear my throat between now and then, and we'll have a look at the shipping routes, the water flow, and that start square, because we haven't been there yet.
Fed up with vanilla or ploppable parking lots in your city? Wondering what BonBonB's Parking Lots Roads is all about? Then you need BonBonB's Parking Lots tutorial. Click the information button below.
And so the shipping routes on North African shore by Stannington, and they're fine. Now we do have all these little we do have a right angled crossover here, and there will be some right angled turning ships going on there. But yeah, we've got all these like little inlets on the right here, and the ships aren't really going to get in there. So if you're going to have to build your harbour on the outer islands if you are going to be building a harbour on today's map, and it's a shore, so I would imagine you will be. Water flow, now the start square is in this inlet, and in the inlets there is hardly any water motion at all. We haven't got any water spawn points down here, so all this water is stationary and static. Got a little arrow there, and that's about it. So yeah, if you're going to be doing this and you're requiring moving water, you're going to be a little bit disappointed. It's very, very static and still. But of course there are other assets that you can do to do all this inland. Right, here's that start square, as promised, long overdue. It's perfectly flat. I'm not going to switch the terrain lines on because you can see it is perfectly flat. It's just the texturing work on this just makes the map pop and makes it feel a lot more alive than it actually probably deserves to be. We've got yeah, there's no tapering on the shorelines. Really, it just sort of like stops and starts, and there's no real beach work as such. And then as we come inland, we've got little clusters of trees here. Now, I'm thinking that they should be on richer soil than what we've got there. Maybe it's the forestry colour is what's under there. I don't know if that works for me, but yeah, I'd like to see it being a lot green under the trees. So yeah, it's the same everywhere. So I reckon that's the forestry colour, which I find a little bit weird personally, but it doesn't work for me anyway. Then all the way over here we've got these very nice hills, but there's no trees over here at all. It's completely bland, and there's not really there's no divots, there's no texturing in the land at all, and it just feels a little bit, let's say the whole thing feels, over here can barely see any trees at all. Got some by the road, but yeah, so there's got to be some shrubs or something somewhere, and a little bit of texturing here and there just to make the land a little bit more interesting. Anyway, we haven't done an asset review, so let's do one from Africa. Yes, that famous Gucci Seoul by Stringer Bell. Yes, Seoul, the famous capital city of Africa. I'm kidding, of course. Okay, of course, Stringer Bell does all of these masthead stores. They are, I think this one works really well with the environment, actually. The colours on it really do work well with the map. So indirect credit for that one somehow to me. Okay, factoids, because factoids. What have we got? What have we got today? The novelist Anthony Burgess admits to having been in a state of near drunkenness while he was writing A Clockwork Orange, because he found the material so depressing. Much of it was based on his very own experiences, though the novel is set in the future. So there, Anthony Burgess, almost completely half cut when writing The Clockwork Orange. And I've got to be honest, it kind of shows. It's genius. And also, what? Anyway, Gucci Soul by Stringer Bell, now in the Creators Hall of Fame. Well done. Long overdue entry into the Hall of Fame as well. Right, okay, let's go and find ourselves a thumbnail position. And while we do that, I pass it over to you and ask you what you think of today's map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We'll use it at the end of the month at the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, or even a free Patreon account. As for me, what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think it's a little bland, but it is kind of interesting at the same time. Does that make any sense? I think it does. It's good to see something a little bit different, and I think the texturing in the landscape is what makes it pop a little bit. But all told, I think it's just a bit bland. I'm gonna give it a 3, a low end 3, but not a low 3. Detailing, there's not really much to mark the depth map down on. Not really much to mark it up on either, so I'm going to go, again, 3 stars. I'm going to go just a little below average. So, still 3 stars, still the pass mark. Gameplay potential. It's really hard to mark this one. It's not broken, it's playable. I don't see any real inspiration to want to play on it, but that's just me. But I'm going to give it a solid middle 3. It's 3 stars again. North African Shore by Stannington. It's a playable map that's different. It's different from the norm, and there's got to be credit for that, because there's so much of the same. And to see somebody just take a chance, take a risk, do something a little bit different, it's good to see, and I applaud it. Anyway, if you're still here, you are now part of the 20 and out elite. To prove you are a member of the elite, head on over to the comments, use the word of the day, score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll see you again tomorrow for another map in the best map / what's map series. Thanks for watching. See you very, very soon.